guys, welcome back to Inside the Cellar Studio. John just pointed out to me that he has created a little fight scene right behind the camera where we look of King Kong and the Indominus Rex. We bought a King Kong at garage sales yesterday. I feel like I'm so congested I can't really say my ends, and this is gonna annoy me. Sorry about that. It's definitely springtime. We went to garage sales yesterday, as I just said. Ooh, I don't know what I just kicked. And there were a ton. It's definitely garage sale season. They're out in full force. We were not able to even hit all of them. We passed a lot of signs. But I'm okay with what we bought at garage sales. We got multiple items in the $20 to $30 range, even more in the $50 to $100 range, and some in that $100 to $200 range. What was your favorite item we bought at garage sales?
The Steam Deck.
Oh, yeah.
So we bought a Steam Deck, I guess console, box, I'm not sure what it's called. It's new in the package, and then we also got the controller. We got the pair for $20, and it'll easily be close to $200 for the pair. Mm-hmm. So for us, just kind of, this one was a bonus sale too. Because it
was a twofer. We followed the sign.
And it went to the neighbor, and the neighbor's
it was bad.
Sale was awesome.
I mean, if you're looking for wedding decor, that's probably like a jackpot.
Fake flowers, vases, vases. But then the neighbor, on the other hand, had electronics, had great stuff.
Mm-hmm. And when you were looking at the listings for the Steam Deck controller, you notice that not a lot of people put that they have the dongle.
Yeah, so I guess it can be used with the charger cord, so it can be a corded controller, or it can be a wireless if it has the dongle. So a lot of them put no dongle, because they probably lost it, but then there are ones when they do have the dongle, they don't put that in the listing either. But that's a big selling point. That's like a $50 to $75 difference on the controllers, at least what I was seeing.
And we have the dongle.
And we do have the dongle, the charging cord. The lady said she had opened it, and she couldn't figure out how to get in the box without tearing it open. So it kind of made me nervous because the Steam Deck itself, the console, is still sealed. So I thought she had opened the remote controller just to show us, but it had actually been used.
Mm-hmm. Are you tempted to keep it at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't have time for that.
John had asked me a couple days ago if I thought we were lucky in what we found. Like, we just stumbled upon it and we're just always so lucky. And I don't think we are. I think we work really hard. We go to a lot of, like, bum garage sales. So I thought it would be fun for the month of April and May, 8 weeks total, to tally up all the garage sales we go to and how many we actually bought stuff at. And then we'll come back in early June and we'll talk about it. I think that percentage is going to be like 25% of garage sales we buy stuff at. Do you want to take an estimation?
I mean, based on yesterday, yeah, it'll be in that 20% or lower.
And I don't think that's lucky. I guess I don't know what I would consider to be, like, lucky. But I feel like we go to a lot of garage sales that we don't buy anything at.
Yeah. So when we do post videos of garage sales, you see a quarter of what we do. I do leave some in there that we don't buy anything at, just to prove that we do go to garage sales, that we don't buy stuff at. And then I also put the ones in there that we do buy stuff at. Some YouTubers only put the wins, don't put the losses. So I at least try to keep a couple losses. Sometimes they're a little bit longer because we are trying to find something, but yeah, I think it's going to be more that 20% or lower. Because we went to a neighborhood garage sale yesterday. One, the traffic was horrendous. This is a very fancy neighborhood, especially for around here. And
it's not really like a 2-lane road.
It's maybe a 1.5.
Yeah.
And everybody else is more important than us. So they deserve to be closer. They deserve to be, parked in a weird way. Circle drive, cul-de-sac. You would line the edge, or at least that's what I think. Everybody was pulling in straight in like a parking lot.
So you couldn't turn around.
You couldn't turn around.
It was awful.
We had a car follow us up to the top of this one area, and then they had to back down about a quarter of a mile in reverse, and that was pretty awesome. I enjoyed that quite a bit. But we went to probably 10 sales in that neighborhood, and I think we only bought things at the very last one.
Mm-hmm. We bought good stuff at the last one.
We did, but it was just, I mean, that's 1 for 10. That's 10%.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, I won't be in a hurry to go back to that neighborhood garage sale.
Kicking?
I have no idea.
Oh, quit kicking stuff.
Yeah.
Your legs aren't even
I think
that
we
long.
would rather chase signs because competition, like at the individual sales, was non-existent yesterday.
No.
Like, I guess everyone chose a different path, and
I mean, we
got really
we
lucky.
love our very specific neighborhood sales.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to them every year. There's 3 neighborhoods that we really, really like. But it's just, and you're always worried when someone says neighborhood sale if it's not just, you know, one lady and the lady across the street. And because they both live in the neighborhood, they called it a neighborhood sale.
Which has happened.
Multiple times. So we enjoyed chasing the signs. At both garage sales that we scored really, really well at, we had absolutely nobody else there.
Mm-hmm.
There were more people at one of the garage sales running it than us. I think there were almost 3. Yeah, there were 3 times. There were 6 people. There were 3 times more than us at that garage sale running it, or just talking, instead of actual people shopping. And then we went back a second time because we've miscalculated a purchase and we needed to buy a couple other things. And there were still maybe 2 people there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good day.
Mm-hmm. It was. So I don't really have a ton for this video, but I did want to ask you what do you think people's top misconceptions are when they start selling on eBay?
Misconceptions. Like they think it's just going to be super easy.
Yeah.
They think it's going to be super easy. That's their misconception. Everything they list sells within a 24-hour period. You don't have any backstock. You don't have shelves and bins full of stuff that's been listed close to a year. You don't. You get paid immediately. Once that thing hits, you're paid. It's in your bank account, which is, I guess you can set up to daily pay, but it's not wise to do it that way. It's so easy because all the YouTubers show everybody's big wins. I think that's it. I think that's the biggest misconception, is everything is easy. Everything comes naturally. Boxes aren't hard to find for specific odd-shaped stuff. Everybody will love you and give you great feedback if you just, ship whatever in whatever you can find around the house. A cereal box. We've received a couple things in a cereal box. It is a box, I guess.
It's a really thin box.
I don't
I'm all
know.
for recycling and reusing whatever you have.
Maybe 2 cereal boxes? I'm not sure.
Text.
But yeah, I think the biggest misconception on eBay is that it's easy. Or Mercari or, whatever, all these other sites. It's not as easy as it seems. And for those who treat it easy are usually the reason good resellers get bad names.
Yeah. And I will say that John is very pleased with himself. He received multiple feedback this week about how great his shipping was. You do take pride in your shipping and everything.
I try to ship
arriving
if it's
correctly.
If it's an expensive item, like if it's a $8 video game, it's gonna get in a bubble mailer, but that's about it. But if we're talking $100, 100-year-old salt and pepper shakers, they're gonna get protected like they're 100-year-old $100 salt and pepper shakers. If I ship a blow mold, it's gonna get protected because it's brittle and it can shatter. If it's a Lego set or an expensive video game, it's gonna get protected.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get positive feedback when it is left, and they do say great shipping or appreciate the detail of the shipping, it does make me happy.
Do you think there are sellers out there that have like a set limit for how much they will spend on supplies per item sent out? Like, I've calculated all this bubble wrap up. I can only use 1 square foot per item.
I think there are some that take
Like, that
it
do
way
that
too
like that?
serious, but then they're not buying the correct stuff. They're buying stuff with a low profit, a small profit, high cost, high breakability. So they're typically selling glassware, tchotchkes, precious moments, stuff like that. Um, it just doesn't. It's not cost effective. I never pay attention to, or for the most part, pay attention to cost of shipping and supplies. There are certain things like the Nintendo Powers we bought. We did buy bags, boards, and boxes to ship them in. So we did make that a little bit higher a priority in our shipping. But we've also had no one complain. We've received multiple positive feedbacks because of that. And that's an interruption from one of our children. Not sure which one.
The sickly one.
And yeah, I don't even know where I was going. So yeah, we don't really pay attention to shipping costs very often. I buy the boxes. I have very specific ones I like, and
that's that.
yeah, and I do work at a place that I can pretty much get any shape, size, box I need. If I need a 4-foot long tube box to ship a broom handle, I've got one right there. If I need to ship a baseball bat, I've got one. Golf clubs, not a big deal. Big, long, tall, it doesn't really matter. So I'm kind of blessed in that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got that dress form thing that sold. It didn't actually, well, it sold, but then we actually didn't ship it because the shipping on it was eBay undercalculated for once. It's not very often like that. So it's still packed in a giant box, ready to go whenever someone does buy it. But yeah, I can get whatever I need.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all I had. Do you have anything else to add?
Mm-mm. So we did buy some electronics yesterday. We kind of talked about those. We got a Bose sound system. We got...
Which I will say, you overlooked.
I did overlook.
And I picked it up, which never happens.
Yeah.
You always double check what I look at. I don't really double check what you look at.
I was distracted by these vintage turntables, record players, and I just couldn't figure out why they looked so weird. And I was trying to figure out what they were, and then right next to it was a Bose sound system, which I did totally overlook.
Which is not a sound wave, it's before the sound wave, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's got the CD player built into it.
It sells for a lot if it works, so we'll get that tested quickly.
Yeah, it's like 50-50 on those. And then at another garage sale, which I had seen them, but I let her buy them. It was a large collection of Warhammer figures, Warhammer 40,000.
We've talked about the guides before, when we bought a huge collection and
D&D and all that stuff.
A lot of money off of them. Yeah, like some are new, some are used. There were some pre-built figures. The sell-through rate on some of these new sets is like 8 listed, 35 sold. So people who, I mean, in my mind, the people who really like Warhammer, like, buy it to keep it, and they love it. They're like diehard. So I like selling it. But all the used stuff, we've got a really big set, and then a kind of big set that usually sells for like $60 to $70. We're just going to list it all together as an auction, started at a penny, because I don't even know how to price it. Some of the stuff's been punched, or some of it's been built. I think the kid who built it liked to use his imagination, which is, I'm guessing that's probably allowed.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have like what kind of looks like sand across the bases, but it's actually like corkboard. Mm-hmm. He added a bunch of like chains and tried to make capes out of like rubber, plastic. I'm not even sure. But, I mean, I get that's what it is. He didn't paint any of them, though. So whoever buys them can paint them at their will. But, yeah, it's going to be a very large... It'll probably fill up this whole table. It's a big, big collection.
I'm really excited. We're starting it tonight, so it won't have ended by the time next week's video.
But we'll know a little bit better. And then you'll get to see the footage on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hopefully the sound works.
Mm-hmm.
Where I say, we should buy all these loose ones, and you're like, nah, I don't think they're part of it.
No, That's not what I said.
And we had to go back and
That's
buy
not what I
it.
said.
I don't know. We'll watch the video.
I said, ugh, I don't want to ship these. They look fragile.
They do. I don't know how you're going to do it.
I know, thanks.
That's all we have today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks.